Yeah, he had almost took him the back there without the underhook. That was pretty cool. Just with his legs being so long.
A big shot there from Marshall. Marshall is so aggressive. You know, he's got a body triangle from guard.
He's got a body triangle from guard, and it's not even that tight. That's how long his legs are.
He's looking for an arm bar. He's not controlling the head. He needs to control the head to set those big long legs up to clear.
When you're trying to pass a guy's guard with legs that are that long, it is very difficult.
You know, Marshall's doing a really good job of putting pressure on Robison, landing big punches. Robison's doing a good job of not taking a ton of damage considering the kind of shots that Marshall's throwing.
He's showing a pretty good guard. Really getting back to guard easily and then getting right back to that body triangle. And he's working for submissions. He's not just laying on his back.
Forearm on his face, right there, Jake.
Oh, big punches there from Marshall. Oh, and a reversal, way to scramble up there, and a takedown from Robison.
Very nice, and the crowd likes that.
I did not expect this. You know, I don't know that I've ever seen Marshall on his back. You know, this kid's always on top. There's great cage pressure and a good body lock takedown there from Robison. Robison's locking down that half guard and trying to do some damage of his own.
Well, now we're going to see Marshall's guard a little bit.
I think if anything, Marshall uses guard just to get up. He's going to scramble. He does not want to be on the bottom. He's a complete mixed martial artist.
He did a nice job getting back to full guard.
Yeah, he's a complete mixed martial artist, but you know, I don't know that he's got training partners that can put him on his back enough to have a great guard.
And that makes a difference. I mean, who you train with makes a huge difference. Well, steel sharpens steel.
For sure, you know, and I'm not talking about it. Oh, good swoop there from Marshall. And I'm not saying anything bad about Marshall. I'm saying he's such a good wrestler that I don't know how he's going to end up on his back to practice his jiu-jitsu.
He did a great job getting up and getting the reversal here, now being on top.
You know, he pulled those ankles, and that's one of those sweeps where, as it's happening to you, you can't believe it works.
They call that a BK roll.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. So we got the end of the first round. You know, I got to give that round to Marshall. He had that big slam and a lot of punches from the top. You know, surprisingly, he didn't do much damage. You know, Robison doesn't look any worse for wear, but I think, you know, Marshall definitely won that first round. I think Marshall needs to come out and do a little bit of the same. I think he needs to come out. At some point, some of those punches got to start landing and doing some damage. I think Robison, he's got great cardio. I think he needs to come out and maybe let his hands go a little more. I think that'll force Marshall to shoot some bad shots, and then he can work with that jiu-jitsu that he's so famous for.
Yeah, it was a close round. Just a slight edge to Marshall. Had a little more control, was on top more. And
he was busier on top.
He was busy.
Yeah, you know, Robison got a takedown too, but he didn't do as much with it. And, you know, Robison's doing things off bottom, but, you know, he's not going to get any more credit than that than Marshall deserves from shutting it down.
Exactly.
Marshall looks fresh too. Both these guys look ready to go here for the second round. That's a great thing about the Bantamweight division is these guys got energy for days.
And a packed house here in event sports.
Yeah, we can't even say standing room because there's not standing room. Let's see what these guys do here in the second round. Oh, big kick and a takedown there from Marshall.
And he's working to pass.
Yeah, he's working hard to pass. You know, I like to see Robison not throw low kicks. I think that it's going to leave him open for takedowns. If he's going to throw anything, throw something that hurts, throw a body kick, throw a head kick. I think that's going to keep, especially with as tall as he is, he can throw head kicks without a ton of energy. Really big punches.
When you start throwing those low kicks, you know, on a wrestler, he's going to use that and grab it out.
Yeah, and I think that if Robison were to throw it in the body or the head, that would, you know, it's gonna cause some concern. Oh, and he's back up. A big slam.
And that's what happens when you grab the back of the head like that. They use it like a handle, flip you up, flip you up.
Yeah, you know, and you'll see that. You won't see that as much in the pro division. Guys aren't using that head. It's a comfort thing. If you're holding onto that head, you feel like you can control the opponent, but you can't. You're actually giving them a handle, like you said, to lift you up and take you down. Moving that hand in front of their face, cross-facing, and creating your space. That's the only way to really keep guys off.
Well, I'd be lying if I said that I haven't made that mistake before.
Watch the arm. Watch the arm. There it is.
Oh, see, now Marshall's starting to get through. Now he's starting to find a home for these punches. You know, he wasn't doing that. He wasn't landing a lot of these earlier. He was very busy, but he wasn't landing. Now it looks like he's actually, doing some damage.
Oh,
Forcing
big
Robison.
shots. And see, he's using those punches to help with the pass.
And look how long Robison's legs are. He's able to, use that knee across the hip. And Marshall has trouble reaching him with the punches just from that knee across the hip.
His legs are so long, he's in guard, but it seems that if he could just get that underhook, he could do good around and take his back easily.
Yeah.
He needs to dig that left underhook in and get those hips out and work to get that back or work for a reversal.
I almost think he's holding that overhook because he doesn't want to get punched anymore. I think every time he frees that arm, Marshall throws some big shots.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to take a few shots to work to change position.
I'd like to see him use some, he's scrambling up. I'd like to see Robison use those up kicks a little too, up kick to the chest.
Yeah, the
push
tall
off.
guy like that.
Yeah.
Earlier in the match, I seen him almost kick him in the face when he was on his back.
Yeah.
Tying it up, just inch it out. Inch by inch. Start hip, baby.
Yeah, Marshall's very patient here, waiting for space and then making him pay when he gets it.
There we go, Jake.
And this is how Marshall's looked in all his fights. He comes out and just dominates.
Behind her.
Oh, big shots there. And
Oh.
referee Mike Mickelson stops the fight. TKO victory for Jake Marshall.
Good stop by the referee. You gotta think. He's there to protect the fighters. And that fan there didn't look like he liked it very much.
No.
What does that guy know? He's probably a basketball fan.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the referee is in charge. He's got to make a judgment call. I know this is Dave Robison's hometown. He's got a lot of fans here. I know that he may be disappointed and was complaining a bit about the stoppage, but you can't put yourself in a position where the referee's got to worry about you. As soon as you do that, if the referee never has to worry about you and you're always fighting back, then you'll never get a fight stopped.
Exactly. And these guys are amateurs too. Nobody wants to see one of these kids get hurt.
Yeah, these guys have long careers ahead of them. It's better safe than sorry. Great job by Jake Marshall.
Referee Mike Mickelson has called a stop to this fight at 2 minutes, 52 seconds of round 2. For your winner, by technical knockout, Jake Marshall.
Jake Marshall is the new Main Event Sports Bantamweight champion. We've crowned our first amateur champion here at Main Event Sports.
We're going to talk to Jake. Jake, you're now 10-0 as an amateur. This is your 8-0. 10 sounds better. 8-0 as an amateur. This is a big fight for you. This is your third title? Fourth amateur title. You got anybody you want to thank? Anybody you want to say thank you to for helping you get in here?
I'd like to thank Keith Ron. They gave me some sweet gear to wear out here. And my family and friends for helping me out this whole way. That's about it.
Thank you very much. Who would like to see Jake come back here? Jake, it's got to be the end of your amateur career. Who would like to see Jake come back here as a professional? You're in somebody else's hometown. That's pretty good in my book. All right, let's talk to Dave. Dave, even though you didn't win, you're still the tallest guy at 135, I know. So Dave, you had a tough fight. The ref made a decision. I know you looked a little bit frustrated with the decision. From my seat, it looked like you were taking a lot of damage, but I know you're good, and I know you're durable because you fought for us before. What are you going to do here? What are you going to do and come back? I mean, what's your game plan? What are you going to change to come back here and make it different next time?
First of all, don't boo Jake. You did good. And need to just use my distance more, like usual. You use what I got, but you did good. Next time I'll do better.
All right. Who do you want to thank for coming out here? I know you took a big camp to prepare for this. Who do you want to thank for coming out here tonight, and who supports you?
In the corner, Doug and Steven and all my training partners. And my dad. That's it.
All right, let's put our hands together for Dave Robison and our new champion, Jake Marshall.
Our next bout is a championship fight in the flyweight division. This is the last of our preliminary card. It features two of the most experienced athletes here in the amateur rankings. Making his way to the ring here is Luke Smith. Luke Smith sports a fantastic record. He's been defeated one time early in his career, is on a fantastic win streak. He's won his last 4 fights. Luke trains with Gladiator MMA and is coming here to make an impression fighting for his first title.
So what is Luke's keys to victory, Nick?
Luke's keys to victory would have to be on top. I think that the guy he's fighting tonight is probably our most experienced amateur, one of the most experienced guys in the league. So I don't think he's going to be able to surprise his opponent, John Heilman, with anything. I think he needs to beat him the old-fashioned way with takedowns. Smith has got some striking. He's a powerful kid. He's a big 125er. Unfortunately, he missed weight. His opponent Heilman took the bout either way. So I think he's going to be the bigger kid in the fight here tonight.
What did he come in weighing?
He missed weight by 4 pounds. He weighed in at 129.5 pounds, and his opponent at the flyweight limit of 125.
At this weight division, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah, he is. This is his first time down. He fought at, Bantamweight before. This is his first fight at Flyweight. These kids are still learning, so, I'm not going to fault him too much. He's got a ways to go in his career. But I think him being the bigger kid may make a difference in the fight if he can get takedowns. I think he needs to put pressure on Heilman, stay busy, and take him down. His opponent, John Heilman, has, approximately 35 amateur mixed martial arts fights. Heilman is a 7-time amateur champion. He is probably one of the best flyweights in the country, but he's his own worst enemy. Because he's so good, he doesn't always train as hard as he needs to, and he can be a little bit, I hate to use the word lazy, but he can be a little bit inactive in the ring. Exactly. Nothing scares him. He's never seen nothing new. He's been there so many times. I don't think he gets adrenaline. I don't think he gets adrenaline for these fights anymore. So I think what he needs to do is he needs to come out and make sure he's not on his back. If Smith can keep Heilman on his back, Heilman's usually content to stay there. He's a fantastic guard. He's got a lot of wins by submission. But if he's taken down and he doesn't get those submissions, and he loses via decision, and we've seen that in the past. Heilman is a fantastic striker. He is a powerful striker, and he is a great jiu-jitsu guy from the bottom. His key to victory is going to be to find space during one of these takedowns and get a submission. On the feet, I think he needs to set up and throw some of those big left hooks that he possesses and some great kicks. But he's got to watch out for spending too much time on bottom. I think that's been Heilman's kryptonite over his amateur career, and the reason he hasn't went professional yet is he needs to find a way to improve his wrestling defense so he doesn't lose these fights by decision. But this kid is almost unfinishable. I think, out of all of his fights, I think he's been finished maybe, a handful of times. I think maybe 3-4 times he's ever been finished.
Looks like he's also got the experience in Don Johnson, his corner, as well as Nick McGinnis. So he trains at Arsenal Combat Sports. They're tough guys.
Yeah, Heilman's, this kid's notorious all over the Northwest. Nobody really wants to fight this guy. It ends up just happening. If you want to fight for a title, he's the guy that's always in line.
And a showman. He's definitely a showman, not just a fighter.
All right, fight fans, this is our final amateur bout of the night. This fight is sponsored by Jail Sucks Bail Bonds. It is 5 3-minute rounds in the Amateur Flyweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man stands 5 feet, 7 inches tall. He weighed in at 129 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Vancouver, Washington, with an amateur record of 6 wins and 1 loss. Introducing Luke Smith. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall. He weighed in Lexington.
Oh, the crowd loves Spider-Man. I mean, this kid is fantastic. He pulls off, fantastic dynamic submissions. He's a great kickboxer. I don't think he's ever had a boring fight. Smith is the same. This kid's got good striking, great wrestling. He's the bigger fighter of the two. I think he can use that to his advantage to try to end up on top and stifle those submissions from Heilman, especially early. Heilman's had some trouble in these long fights where he seems to get a little tired. Smith seems to be a cardio machine. I think he needs to move it into the late rounds and try to do some damage because he's taking a big risk exchanging with Heilman early in fights.
You can really see the size advantage with Smith. I mean, I don't know if that's what he weighed yesterday. I'd like to know what he came in weighing today.
He's in. I know Luke Smith. His walk weight's in the mid 140s. I mean, he's a big kid. I think John Heilman walks at about 135 pounds. He's got a 10, maybe 15 pound advantage after weigh-ins. But that comes with him learning how to make that weight of 125.
I think John could actually even fight lighter. I think he just would have a hard time finding opponents.
I don't think there's a lighter weight class for him. I don't know of a men's 115 division unless he wants to go to China.
Thailand, maybe.
Oh, good combos here. These guys, this is what happens when you have upper echelon competitors. The fights are a lot more technical. These guys are very technical fighters, and they know this is a long fight, so they're really picking their shots.
Yeah, not to talk down on any of our previous fights, but you can definitely see an up in skill level with these two guys.
Oh, big left hand. Yeah, these guys are fantastic kickboxers. Both have boxing experience. Heilman's an amateur champion at kickboxing.
Ooh, nice body kick. Yeah, both guys very crisp, clean.
Ooh, great leg kick from Heilman. Oh. Way to catch that kick and throw that left hand there from Luke Smith. Oh, where Heilman's really effective is he's got a fantastic left hook. The problem is, he's able to use that against right-handed fighters. I don't know that he's going to land that on a lefty like Smith, like he does against his other opponents.
Yeah, fighting a southpaw can be very confusing. John is kind of circling into his power punch. I'd like to see him maybe start to circle the other direction, circle towards away from his power.
It looks like John's actually doing that to set up that rear inside low kick. But yeah, I can tell it's different. He's having an adjustment here. I know John's fought lefties before, but I think it's been a while in his career since he's done it. And Luke Smith, this is definitely the toughest fight Luke Smith's ever had. On paper, he's never fought anybody as tough as Heilman. So this is a good opportunity for him to showcase his skills because John is such a slow starter.
So when you're fighting a southpaw, you want to keep your lead leg on the outside of his lead leg.
Oh, good left hand.
Which keeps you away from his power punch.
Ooh,
swing and a miss.
Yeah, Heilman's doing the right thing and leading off, with that right hand. I think he needs to do that to the body because it looks like Smith's got some really good head movement. And if you notice, big takedown there from Smith. This is what he needs to do just to score points. I don't know that he's going to be able to be real active on top, but he doesn't need to be. It's the end of the round, and he got that takedown. I think Heilman won the striking exchanges, but that takedown may have given Smith the victory in that round there.
I'd have to disagree with you. I mean, the takedown was at the end of the round. He didn't use it. He didn't have any damage. I give that round to John.
Well, luckily, we're not judges when we don't get to decide because that'd be a hard round to find.
Yeah, judging is not fun.
Beautiful ring girl Cheyenne. Yeah, both guys look fresh. I mean, Heilman and Smith both look like these guys are ready for a long fight. I think they both know how tough the other one is, so these guys are being very careful on how they exert their energy.
Yeah, Nick McGinnis doing a good job of calming his fighter down, getting his breathing down.
In the second round, I think Luke got that takedown. I think that's going to give him some confidence here if he needs to shoot again in the second round, if Heilman starts to land. I think Heilman needs to just be a little bit busier. That's kind of been Heilman's problem his whole career is he's always right there. He's always right in there in these fights. He just needs to be a little more active. I'd like to see him throw, even 10 more punches around to make all the difference. Even if they're jabs.
Smith bleeding a little bit from his nose there?
Yeah, Smith got caught with a left hook in the nose early in that first round. It looked like it bothered him. Ooh, good inside kick. You know, Smith is landing a lot, but it doesn't seem to be doing much. Heilman has got
Nice
a
check.
fantastic chin. Yeah, Heilman's got a great chin. We've seen that all his career. He's been stopped one time ever from strikes, and that was to professional fighter Alex Corrales. Excuse me, 2 times. He actually got stopped via cut in another bout, but as far as being finished with strikes, there's only been one man that's able to do that.
It was a nice liver kick there by Smith.
Yeah, so I think Smith is smart that he's not throwing super hard, because I don't know that it would make a real difference against a guy like Heilman. He takes a good shot and he'll stay in the pocket.
John, you can't single shot him. You gotta throw your combos right now. There you go.
Both these guys putting together combos, and Smith looks like he's going for the body.
Again with that liver kick.
John, go John! John, you need to mark rounds right now.
And John answers with a left kick of his own.
And that was the exact same takedown we saw at the end of that first round. That big, long, running takedown into the same spot in the cage.
Just a football tackle almost, if you will.
You know, Heilman doesn't do much to defend, but I think it's because he's so good on the ground, he doesn't really care to exert that kind of energy.
He's going to push the ball down and start to roll back to his feet.
Heilman's got 2 fights here. One fight against Smith, and the other fight is how hard he wants to work compared to how tired he wants to get. if the objective to fighting was who could exert the least amount of energy, I think John Heilman would be a world champion, because he never looks like he's working.
Well, that comes down to that experience.
Yeah,
too.
no, he's
got
so good.
So much experience.
He's so good that he makes it look effortless. But look at Smith here. Smith's got a mount against the cage. He doesn't have the space to do any kind of damage, but he's definitely scoring points, and it's wasting time. He's standing in a good spot, and
He's dominating position.
for sure.
Smashing his head against the cage and pounding it out a little bit.
Look at Heilman grab with the rear hand there, trapping the arm. Talk about experience. That's experience.
That's a crafty veteran from an amateur. You know, really, he is a veteran. I mean, we're talking about a guy with 30-plus fights. I mean, that's more than the guys you see in the UFC.
Yeah. And, you know, Heilman started competing when he was 14 years old, against grown men. So, you know, Heilman is a young guy. He's got a lot of room in his career. He's got a lot of time to be a professional fighter. I think it's nice to see a guy be that active as an amateur, to make sure that when he is a professional, that he's seen everything. And I think he's in that point. But he needs to start beating guys. Beating guys like Luke Smith is the way to establish that.
So on my scorecard, I've got it 1 round apiece.
Yeah, I think Smith won that second round. It's the same thing. He hit that takedown. He's a little more active. Heilman looks a little more tired than he did at the end of the first round. I think some of those positions on bottom are wearing him out a bit. I'd like to see him do the same thing. I mean, at the end of every round, I'm probably going to say the same thing. I need John to throw some more punches. I think he needs to stay a little more active. I think Smith needs to set up some of those shots. He needs to make sure that Heilman doesn't land any big punches. And I think he needs to put him on his back earlier in the round, because Heilman's not scrambling up.
What do you think Donnie was telling John in the corner there?
It's the same thing, to throw more punches. Heilman's not throwing enough punches. I think that if he throws some more punches, it's going to make Smith set up some shots that aren't as good as the other ones. Heilman in a karate stance. Heilman in a karate stance. That's what we're talking about. Nothing phases this kid.
Yeah, he's on his back for an entire round.
He just fought for six minutes and comes out in a karate stance. See, this is nice.
That was a nice counter right there.
Yeah, these guys are exchanging. This is what they need to do. Heilman needs to throw some more punches, because in these exchanges is when he can land.
Nice jab again. He's looking crisp this round.
Yeah. The opportunity is always there for Heilman to knock somebody out, but he's got to stay busy to do it.
And look at his back. It's pretty scratched up from getting pinned up against the cage like that. That's
Good left
fun.
hand. Yeah, good left hand there from Smith. And what I do like about Smith, that Smith's doing that Heilman's not, is feinting. He's got a lot of feints, a lot of movement, a lot of head movement. Heilman kind of just walks forward like a Terminator and throws punches, which is definitely fun to watch, though.
Yeah, it's fun to watch, but you don't have the longest career like that.
I think Heilman works out. And Heilman's cut. Heilman works out with a lot of bigger guys, and he's got a good team behind him. I think that, these littler guys can't hurt him.
So is that cut above the eye or below the eye?
I can't tell. I mean, I think it's in the eyebrow. It doesn't look bad. It looks scratched to me. Single leg attempt here. And Heilman's going for a guillotine.
I've seen him pull off that guillotine a number of times.
He hurt him.
That body shot hurt him.
Oh, he hurt him bad with that knee to the body. And Heilman's going for a submission here. I think he needs to let go of that submission and throw some more knees to that liver. Oh, he is. Great. Look at that. Hitting him in that body, I mean, I think Smith's hurt bad.
Oh, he lands a high kick.
Oh, and a huge takedown there from Smith. I think Smith needs to establish and give his liver a rest because Heilman hurt him bad with those liver shots.
Yeah, and John needs to take advantage of this. He's still hurt. He needs to get up off his back and keep attacking.
And Smith is so tough, take those shots, and do what he needs to do to end up on top here. And it looks like he's trying to mount Heilman, but Heilman's blocking with his foot on the cage.
That's why they call him the Spider-Man.
Spider-Man just did a wall walk.
And is he going for
body lock?